Illidan, it's a draw ranger. It's almost like the same story like a Spectre. You need to keep that support up. Middle lane, God, well, he's in real trouble. The double damage. S4 will get the last attack. Actually, no pain. He denies him up, and now S4, they turn it around. FNG finds it only one, but he can go for a second. The space away from Nuts. Nuts is actually dying to that nightmare, but he will not go the whole way. Oh my.
Big plays coming out from FNG yet again.
That was Log moves over to pick up face boots, but Nuts is rotating down. He doesn't have a high level, so I don't know if he can really help out Admiral Bulldog. Yeah, 2 raises from God up at level 4. That's an easy mop up on Admiral Bulldog.
And now you really have to be worried.
Yeah, for the SF. The SF already has a bonus 14 damage available, and that's on top of everything else he's got. Okay, this is probably going to be, in fact, it will be a very, very dead foe boss. With a dust out in him, he's got nowhere to run to. He can't deny himself up. He put the silings in. But it will be the kill. Solo going the way of Admiral Bulldog. A good first user's in trouble. In fact, Loader is dead. Fiend's Grip on bottom lane. The Brewlings are all there. Phobos has soaring off cooldown in 1 second time. So he can just throw another spawn Spiderlings into him, and there goes Loader. Down for the count. S4 gets a trade-off by taking out the tier 1 tower on top, but that's directly after VP took the tier 1 in mid. And now they even assault into the tier 2. And Alliance is not ready to fight this. So you could throw that.
So this is really good versus Queen, really good versus Windranger, even I'd say pretty good versus the Doombringer.
This is really good for them. They're smoked up on top of a dire Observer Ward. Well, it could have been until the smoke broke.
I mean, they're in a position to kill G2.
Oh god, the Fiend's Grip, Admiral Bulldog, the Shackle ends up, well, the ulti did fly out. There's a big crush over on VP with the Lynch only bouncing around. God's very low, the focus fire from S4 doesn't work. They'll still lose Nuts as well as Loader. And Alliance have to bail out of here. All they end up doing for that big crush, for the big ulti, is taking out the Aegis.
It was looking pretty good. The Chain Frost was decent, but so many summons from the Broodmother, so many creeps coming out, and of course, like, the double heal from Brainsap and Mech also kind of mitigated that. And Queen of Pain blinked in, and she got obliterated. She does not have enough armor to blink in there.
It could have been a very different story if that Shackle came out a fraction earlier from S4, because he could have cancelled the Requiem of Souls. And that would have made a very, very different fight. Now, jump forward, the Doom's over on Illidan. There should be a very dead Dro Ranger. FNG hanging behind him. They got that Scream damage, but God also looking for the raise. It's pretty hard to Admiral Bulldog. FNG low, RK with the last attack. He'll kill off FNG. As Admiral Bulldog forced back as those familiars keeping him out of the fight. It's Nuts who moves forward to take out Visage as we split once again. God just bailing out. The amplification keeps the vision on him, and Loader, he really wants to go for more. If he blinks to crush, he could catch out Phobos.
The Queen of Pain, but I mean, you want your Slaughter to be able to do damage, to be able to stay in there and fight.
Real trouble for him. Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, and God, well, he's going to wind it up and let it rip. S4 can't win, run away. That Requiem as well as Ray is doing all the work, and that's 50 seconds without a buyback for the Windranger. And in fact, they might even lose Nuts. He's orking it up, can't get himself away. He's going to pop to the Broodmother, and there's 2 heroes down. Queen of Pain can buy back, but this is really going to set it back on the Aghanim Scepter. But what's your other choice? You're going to lose mid.
I mean, Alliance are just feeling squeezed out of the map right now. They're just like, okay, we're getting out-farmed.
Gotta be careful when he gets Gust Silence like that by Illidan. That's a level 4 as well. That silence lasts for so long. So the range racks drops.
I mean, where's the wave clear? All these Brooklings are still up.
Yeah, they need Sonic Wave. You actually need his trigger off the Shiva's Guard as well as a Scorched Earth, but now they run themselves in, and they do get that combo off, but God, he just stands his ground with that BKB up. Another Orchid's already going off on Admiral Bulldog. It looks like he'll end up surviving. He won't pop from it. And Nuts jumps forward. The Sonic Wave's already been blown. S4 can't find that Shackle. Only that first little initial stun on Illidan. And these familiars from Lil buy them the space, but Alliance, they need kills. A blink crush from Loader, catching Illidan as well as FNG. FNG looks for the Nightmare, the silence. Okay, it's not going to do enough. Not while the Lich Holy's bouncing around already. And Nut is forward. Illidan, Mana Style breaking free, but the Shiva's Guard's closing back down again. And another crush from Loader, giving S4 a double kill. They don't even need the creep wave. They can just take this tier 1 tower. They got Focus Fire back off cooldown in just a moment. So
the one to go back and defend, because if they see someone like Slaughter or a Doom, they're instantly going to go.
Crush, that Force Staff gets FNG out of trouble, and now they can Feast Grip on S4. Force Staff out a very long way. God's still going to go for this Requiem of Souls. It'll hit S4 on the edge, but now Doombringer back in the fight with a Sonic Wave hitting so hard. Nuts doesn't have a way out of this one. He jumps in with no exit strategy, and now Loader and Admiral Bulldog scampering themselves away. Bulldog, he won't get chased any further. In fact, it's Loader who, okay, It looked like for a moment he wanted to just blink himself back in again, but it was still on cooldown. And Roshan will start with 3 heroes down for Alliance. They can't contest Roshan. Great fight for VP.
Again, FNG with the plays. He kind of forced Alliance, like, okay, if you don't doom our Shadow Fiend, you're going to lose the fight. And he doomed him, but it was just a tiny bit too late. The Requiem had already come out. This could be a really good time to push.
Nuts also needs to get the hell out of here. If he blinks backwards, he is dead. And then, with a 4-star pushing Drow Ranger forward, Nuts just wants to TP himself out to safety. The Nightmare cancels that. With a couple of races, they do bring him down. Buybacks available. This is, I don't even say a support Queen of Pain, but the Sonic Wave can be up if required. And now God, Amplify. The Shackle won't latch on Illidan.
He's still sitting in positives after the Amplify. That's actually pretty absurd.
Oh, for now. Maybe when Bulldog rotates himself down, but the Brute just wants to push in through that middle lane. But Bulldog, he initiates. This time they get on top of Illidan, and Illidan's so low, but FNG's Fiend Script, it controls him up. The Drow Ranger will actually drop. That Lynch only doing some considerable damage as Loader back in again with a crush, and the follow-up bash going through 3. But Godzilla has so much damage. S4 will burn through the Aegis. Meanwhile, amid Brood doing brutally things, taking out that melee Rax. Loader, he wants to try and fight. TV out. That's not going to work. The Shackle, however, controls up God. It's a rampage for God, and S4 has to retreat back out. That SF is just way too big for Alliance to deal with, and they have no buybacks on their dead heroes.
And again, another Requiem goes uninterrupted. That one had to come out from the Lich, though. And Alliance, I mean, they went with the best shot that they had. They saw the cheese on the Drow Ranger, so okay, we have to doom her, so she can't pop the cheese, and if we doom G, it's a lost fight. So they went with the best percentage play that they had, and unfortunately, as you said, G is too strong.
Nah, he's so strong. Phobos is split pushing. They can't even grab a fight. They can't dictate the terms of these engagements. Alliance, even with good blink crushes, you get loaded with a triple kill, and it's just like there's nothing else to follow up after that point. And VP, they got such sustainable damage just because the SF is so huge. Admiral Bulldog, now with the blink forward, he really wants this kill over on God, and maybe they can get it, but they have to get through that evasion. Able to do so, S4, a little bit harder, and in fact, no, not when the Rays are there. God takes one, Bulldog's down for over a minute. RK is going to join him as Phobos just goes to work, throws back the front lines, and this really is the game. VP, they've controlled it perfectly. They've done the Drow proud. Loader will miss his stun. Bane, actually Fiend Script over on the Slaughter. They'll switch the Nightmare over, but already VP with the extra stuns from the Familiars. S4 will drop. Phobos will survive to the bitter end. I think S4 just wants to get a little bit of revenge here. He can't reach him. In fact, he's going to get gusted up by Illidan. The tier 4 towers are attacked, and there it is. 11-22. Virtus.Pro will end up taking the game against Alliance, eliminating them from this FrankFurt major.
I really like how G just stood up there in man mode. He's like, I am God, you cannot kill me.
He really is. And he had support everywhere across the map. The control was perfect from VP. They're on comfort heroes. The Familiars were dropping everywhere. The Broodmother was always adding pressure. Man, maybe Phobos went to that Russian, like, the Brood God, the Brood Master, who's been training up Mag. But he played in a wonderful game.